Good day, everyone. I'm Itzali Sportinova. Our topic for today is about Heinz Kohut, Object Relations Theory. So, let's begin. Heinz Kohut was born in Vienna, Austria on May 3, 1913. He entered public school at the age of 11 and prior to that he was homeschooled. Heinz Kohut spoke both of French and Greek, and he studied in European literature and biology. Began his secondary education in medicine at University of Vienna, where he developed an interest in psychoanalysis. In 1930, he graduated after studying in Paris for 1 year. Heinz Kohut taught at Austria in 1939 because his father was a Jewish. He traveled to England and then to the United States when he worked at the University of Chicago Hospital. He gradually transitions of psychoanalysis and he eventually became a lecturer on psychiatry at the university. He served as American Psychoanalytic Association in 1964 (APA) and a vice president of International Psychoanalytic Association beginning in 1965 (IFE). A staunch defender of traditional psychoanalytic theory, Kohut often referred to himself as a master at psychoanalysis. Basic concept of relations. Object relations is a variation of psychoanalytic theory that differs from Sigmund Freud's belief that humans are motivated by sexual and aggressive drives, suggesting instead that humans are preliminary motivated by the need. Basic concept of object relations. In the context of object relation theory of the word object refers not to intimate entitles but to significant others to whom a person or individual relates and is usually thus close to a persons like a parents or the primary caregivers, although in some cases object can be used to refer to a part of person, such as mother's breast, or even the mental presentation of significant others. A presentation of an object makes the following: first, the object as a perceived in the self; third, the self in relations to the object; third, the relationship between self and object. Internal objects are caused by frequently interactions with one's caregiver. The images are subjectively created by infants' limited cognitive ability and do not inherently represent reality. 4. Basic component. Kohut began to develop a view of self with 4 basic components, beginning nuclear self. Nuclear self is a biological construct that infants are born with. Not virtual self. Virtual self is an image of the body baby retained by their parents, and the combinations of the nuclear self and the virtual self should lead to the next component, cohesive self. Cohesive self, but in trauma, abuse, and other problems during develop can prevent this. Grandiose self is the part component that is egocentric from the self that result from feelings or being the center of the universe during early infancy. Kohut believed that the parent's failure to emphasize that with the child as the head of nearly every psychological problem. Empathy. Empathy is the most important therapeutic tool in self-psychology because, according to the Kohut, it can help undo some of the damage caused by unmet needs. Kohut introduced several new types of loves including Self-objection, which is objects are individual experience as a being part of oneself. This object may also include people. For example, the infant might be his or her parents as an extension of not self. Optical frustrations is a form of tolerable frustration and disappointment when a child needs access to a self-object but one is not available. He or she might experience frustration. Optimal frustration occurs that can be lead to the development of new coping skills. Twinship need is the desire to feel similarly to the other humans being. Triple ourselves. These are three fundamental needs, which include needs grandiose exhibitions, needs for an alter ego, and needs for a idealized figure such as the parents. During the 1970s, Kohut's theory of self-psychology gained popularity rapidly. Many of people who struggle with the guilt resulting from this indulgence to self-serving behaviors saw self-psychology as a more positive to understand in any following up approaches or the therapy that need as a traditional psychologist. Self and narcissism. Self and narcissism is the most theory expressed that a negative view of narcissism, but Kohut felt is a serve as essential rule in the development of individual. Self-object are the adult who care to the child, that they need to provide psychological and psychological needs. First, a child needs self-object, who confirm the child vitality, who look on the child with joy and approval. And the first B6 narcissistic process, knowing as mirroring. The child can see itself as a wonderful tooth in the eyes of others. An important aspect of mirroring is empathy, is the state of which in the mother and child their feelings of their which one. Saturnus, the second type of self-object, satisfy that a child needs to be involved with powerful others. Otherwise, people the child can look up into the image of calmness, control, and impotence. The second basic narcissistic process known as idealizing allows that the child experience the wonder of others and consider itself as a special with well-being to the other relationship with them. Finally, the child needs to express and experience others who are often similar to the child, allowing the child to sense in the following essential likeness between the child and the object relations. There are three types of self-object transfer. How will be the self-object relate to and incorporate into the child's sense of self? Three types of self-object transferring. Those individuals who have not developed a healthy sense of the self will exhibit and portray three types of self-object transference. Transference. The patient's transference according to the object relations theory is an expression of their international object relations within the therapeutic relationship. Mirroring transferring. The attention visions to feel more real and more internationally. Memorying serves as the past important step as a child observes his and her parents and what gives them joy that she also consider as something wonderful. Idealizing transparency, the patient comes to the belief that analysis is a powerful and important persons and thus makes that the patient should be able to valued as a result of being associated with analysis. Twin shift transferring, the patient would feel as if they are the companion to the analysis in the process of therapy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you.